before the Cavs play the Grizzlies tonight. I just want to go over the Cavs week in recap, as we're going to be doing these weekly. Just see what this kind of recapping the week in the Cavs, and I thought in general it was a pretty decent one. All three of these games coming down to the fourth quarter, and the Cavs performing pretty admirably in two of them. Obviously, you don't want to see what happened with the Timberwolves all that often, but I feel like it is one of those things where the Cavs aren't going to be able to win every game, especially if you're going to be playing consecutive games where it's coming down to the clutch moments and play in just one quarter, and you're not putting these games away. You are going to take some L's along the way if you're competitive, but considering all three of these were in the fourth quarter and two of them are on the road, it's something that the Cavs have been kind of known to struggle with in the this season, then I feel like getting two of those wins, I feel like I will be happy with that week pretty much any time. So we're going to run these games over a little bit more specifically, starting with Thursday against the Trailblazers in Portland. They won that one 119-113. This was the Ricky Rubio return game, and I think that you can tell he brings a consistency that the Cavs second unit kind of desperately needs. He's not likely to wow you, but he does seem to be able to get a good amount of efficiency out of the offense. He seems to know how to run it as well as he can. He didn't play very much against the Trailblazers, but it seems like the fact that he was available and out there seemed to be a bit of a weight lifted from this Cavs team. He does seem to provide some energy, and you're not exactly solely relying on Darius Garland for really good point guard play, and that's not a shot at Raul Neto. It's just that kind of, Ricky Rubio provides something that he just didn't, and it's not, if Darius Garland isn't out, you're not panicking about having to move Darius Garland over to Donovan Mitchell over to point guard and messing up the whole lineup. It's just, Ricky Rubio is now there. He's usually going to be the second unit point guard, but last year when Darius Garland went down, he does have the ability to pop up into that starting point guard spot every once in a while. I feel like the Cavs recovered pretty nicely from the Trailblazers having a better first half than the Cavs did. Donovan Mitchell heating up at the end of the third quarter. I mentioned in my last Cavs recap about how I felt bad about his return to Utah kind of being doused because he dropped 46 points and lost the game. Damian Lillard had 50 points in this game for the Trailblazers, and the Cavs ended up pulling that one out. So a bit rough for Damian Lillard to have all that effort and drop all those points and still not be able to get the win for, the Trailblazers didn't give him the support for the win, but, that's how basketball goes sometimes. Both Jarrett Allen and Darius Garland had double-doubles in this one, and the starting five for the Cavs all had pretty good games against Portland. So a decent, pretty good win there on the road. Their next game was on Saturday against Minnesota at the Timberwolves. They lost 110-102 in this one. The game was kind of a bit of a flip-flop reverse from the game against Portland, where the Cavs played I don't know if they played exactly bad in the second half. It's just that the Timberwolves had some guys show up in clutch moments that the Cavs didn't quite answer. Anthony Edwards showing why he was a number one pick for the Timberwolves. Minnesota, their bench also playing a key role in this game. The Cavs didn't really shoot that well from the three-point line either, at just around 29%, so the Timberwolves defense doing something there. Something encouraging for Cleveland in this game, even though they lost, was that both Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen had pretty solid outings. You expect them to, but when they're clicking in full effect, it's just a different thing than just saying it in words and on paper. The Timberwolves, again, just a little bit better than the Cavs in some important moments, and it's one of those things where if you're continuously going to be in consecutive games where you're relying on a fourth quarter performance, they're not always going to go your way. So we go into Monday at home against the Pelicans, where they take a victory at home 113-103. This is another game where both Jarrett Allen and Darius Garland had double-doubles, so they're continuing their hot streak. Garland was arguably the most notable Cav in this win, with dropping 30 points, 11 assists, and 6 rebounds. Donovan Mitchell didn't play in this game for a little bit because of a groin injury. He only got 22 minutes in this one. That kind of emphasizes how vital it was for Darius Garland to have the game that he did, where Donovan Mitchell goes down. Somebody's going to have to replace that, and for this one, it was Darius Garland, although Donovan Mitchell is listed as out for tonight's game against the Grizzlies, so we'll see how that goes. The Cavs were chasing the game early in this one. New Orleans defense forcing some turnovers, and the Pelicans turned those into points throughout the entire first half. However, the Cavs were always able to get back into the game, and whenever they fell behind by a decent margin, where you think if the Pelicans put their foot on the gas, it might be it. The Cavs always found a way to claw back into this one, and they were able to get the lead down to 3 points heading into the fourth quarter. In the fourth quarter, it was a pretty dominant performance by the Cavs. They took care of that lead pretty quickly and added more of it to their own. They got the lead up to double digits by the middle of the quarter. The Pelicans didn't lay down and die by any stretch of the imagination. New Orleans was still pretty competitive in this one, but the Cavs were able to keep pace, mostly from Darius Garland just having some nice plays, and the score was always kept at a comfortable enough distance to secure the win. So I thought in the games, the Cavs played pretty well. And again, that game against the Timberwolves, not every fourth quarter performance is going to go your way. In the standings, the Cavs are currently 5th in the East, but it's pretty much a logjam. They are only 1 game behind the Milwaukee Bucks, who are in 2nd place. So they're in a battle with the Bucks, the 76ers, and the Nets for those 2 through 5 seeds. They are currently 3 games ahead of the 6th place Knicks, and they're 4 games ahead of having to play in the play-in tournament. So to end this video off, I'm just going to get some positive notes about what I thought the Cavs can build on and what I thought went well for the Cavs. I thought Caris LeVert, that maybe I haven't mentioned earlier, Caris LeVert playing pretty decently after the fiasco in Utah that he had with all the free throws to Jordan Clarkson. I felt like LeVert's rebounded fine. He's playing pretty efficient in his minutes, and it seems like that could be a turning point where he starts playing garbage and starts playing pretty horribly because he just had that huge thing, but he's been able to rebound pretty nicely. And I think Isaac Okoro is settling into the starting role, and he's starting to knock down more of those open corner threes that teams are giving him. If he keeps up with that, then the defense is going to have to respect him a little bit more, and that will just open up the offense for the starting 5 all that more. And the Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley combo in full stride at the moment. I know I mentioned it a little bit ago, but I do feel like I do need to emphasize that when Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley are at their peak, I feel like that's when the offense is working the best as it's supposed to, because if the guards aren't having that great of a shooting night or something is going wrong, you seem to, in theory, you always have that element of Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley being presences in the paint and at least forcing teams to think about that for a little bit. And I think overall the Cavs have a foundation to really build on this week, and hopefully some more good basketball ahead for them. So thank you all for watching. If you made it this far, I will see you at the next one.